guys, happy Soul Sister Saturday. This is Dayna, and I'm here to answer your questions and offer you support and love for problems you're going through or issues you might be dealing with. This is my second episode without Amy Lee, and the first one wasn't too bad. I was nervous. I procrastinated all day to record the first Soul Sister episode. Now that I'm on the second one, it's not bad. I can do this, and this is important for Amy that I keep up this series because it's something we thought of together. And just because she left, we weren't going to let it change, and we weren't going to let our sadness affect what we want to do for you guys and the connection and the help and the sisterhood that we formed with everybody. So we're going to keep doing these, whether Amy's here on Skype or whether I'm alone, or whether I have a guest. Maybe I'll have a guest sometime, somebody that wants to take part in this. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Your questions from last week were amazing, and all the love and support that you've shown us has been incredibly well received. So let me just jump into the first question here. It's from Hippie Girl, and it says, my best friend is changing because of another girl, and she's very important to me, and I want her to be herself again. And she has a new friend who's always calling me names and being really mean. Please help. Well, Hippie Girl, your friend may or may not be changing. For one, your perception of her is changing because she's focused on somebody else. And I remember being a young girl and teen, you do try on different personalities. When you find somebody really cool and you're attracted to them as a friend, I don't mean romantically, but you attract different people into your life experience. When you're attracted to somebody as a friend, sometimes you do pick up their mannerisms and you try on who they are a little bit. You know, like you try to become like the cool kids, and you act a little different than you normally would. We all go through this. It's part of growing up. It doesn't really happen when you're an adult, but I can remember it really well when you're kids and teens that you kind of do that. So, Hippie Girl, a friend, a true friend, gives their other friends space when they need it to kind of find out who they are and work through discovering different sides of themselves and connecting with other people. So she may change, or she might be just trying this on. It feels really good to her, and this is her own life path. And this is something, guys, I want you to really take to heart, that when you try to control somebody else, and I know it's not ill-intentioned, I know you guys have like good intentions, but if you try to control somebody else and get them to do what you want, it'll always go wrong. Freedom is the answer. And when I mean freedom, when you have a real friend, you have to let them do what they need to do. There's days where, well, not since Amy left, but before that, there was days we wouldn't talk. And I know in the past in my life, with other friends I wasn't so close with, I would feel insecure about it. Like I would blame myself, like, did I do something? Or why aren't they talking to me? I see they're on Facebook and they're commenting on other people's stuff, but they're not commenting on my stuff anymore. What did I do? What's going on? We go through this our whole lives. But a really good true friend, which you can be, I'm telling you this because you can be this, you can model this, understands and gives your friends space. And I think it's when you have low self-esteem and worries and anxiety that it really affects you, that you think that you did something wrong and that their reaction or non-reaction is like a result of something you did. But most of the time, guys, that's a really kind of narcissistic way to live. And narcissism is when you only think of yourself and you only think of how things affect you. Part of growing up, and you guys are all going through this, and I'm going to help you, part of growing up is understanding that it's not always about you. This friend of yours who's with somebody else, whatever reason, it's meeting a need in her life right now. A need is being met, she's connecting, she's feeling fulfilled, she's finding a new friend. Anytime somebody finds a new friend, it's like this really intense relationship in the beginning. You just want to be around each other all the time, and it's like, it's kind of like when you get a boyfriend, but not romantic, but the same kind of energy of just like, oh my gosh, this person's so awesome. It's kind of like the period of where the relationship's getting established. And when you're possessive and controlling, friendships never work out. They're never real. So I feel a little bit of that energy from you, of that like self-doubt, that fear, that kind of wanting to control who she is. And that will only drive your friends away from you. You have to realize that. You have to step back and breathe and refocus and just tell her that I'm always here, I'm so happy for you. But I mean, truly try to find the happiness in it for her. You have to try to feel things from other people's perspective and what they're going through and how happy and fulfilled she is when you can celebrate your other friends' accomplishments as if they were your own, and celebrate your friends' joys as if they were your own. That is when true friendship takes roots and that you really connect with somebody. Jealousy, insecurity, fear, manipulating, trying to control, guilt tripping, you know, saying things like, well, I guess you don't want to hang out with me because you have a new best friend. None of that is nice and none of it is kind. It's not, guys. Now, this is your big soul sister talking. I want you guys to really take this in because, gosh, I would have loved to have had somebody tell me that how many relationships I screwed up in my childhood and teen years just from my own insecurity. Allow people the freedom to be who they are and do what they want. Seriously. And you, in the meantime, find something to do. Call up another friend, hang out, make another new friend. You can keep finding more and more friends. I love when Amy has new friends or she's focusing on another friendship. I love when she goes out with her friends and does things. It makes me feel as happy as if it was me. Now, I haven't had many friends in life that have felt like that, but I'm really applying everything that I've learned my whole life. And so I'm telling you guys early, you won't have to wait till adulthood to learn this. You're going to be like a master best friend, soul sister to everybody you meet, and people are going to be drawn to you. You'll be like, what the heck's up? I have so many people writing to me and loving me and connecting with me. So being a good friend takes work. It takes art. It takes healing. It takes you doing inner work to be a better friend to people. So many of these questions I get, they're girls or guys that are like wondering why somebody's being mean to them. Well, you really have to take a look inside and find out what you're doing to be mean to them, because it's always a mirror. Usually what we're accusing somebody of, we're doing. That's a really hard pill to swallow, guys. I know, to take responsibility for how you're acting. But very oftentimes what we're feeling other people are doing to us, a result of our pain from that, makes us do it to them and others. So everything comes from within you. Everything is an inside job. If you want your relationships to change, you need to treat people honestly the way that you want them to treat you. It's that simple. But it's hard. I realize it's a journey, but once you start living that way, it'll become automatic, I promise. Okay, the next question is from Grace McKenzie. She says she's getting contacts and getting her glasses replaced with contacts, and she's afraid of what her friends are going to think of her, and especially this guy who she really likes. She doesn't know what he's going to think of her once she gets her glasses off. And I have to say, I've never heard of this problem. I've heard of so many people like saying that once they get glasses, they're really afraid of what people are going to think. But to get glasses off, I guess you probably had them for a while, sweetie, because you feel like they're part of your identity. There's a couple things you could do if you're really not comfortable without them. You can get the fake glasses. They sell those at like Claire's, just like the ones with the clear lenses, so you're feeling a little more secure until you're ready and used to the contacts. And also, I think we think people care more than they do about our appearance. I think we think that we're the center of the universe and we're so worried about how everyone's reacting to us. You guys have to remember, really, that people are worried about themselves. They're really not thinking about you. They're not thinking any longer than 2 seconds about the fact that you don't have glasses on, you have contacts now, because their mind is going just like your mind is going. They're worried about their hair that day, and the shirt that they have has a stain on it, and oh my gosh, what's happening when I get home later? I'm supposed to be doing this. Your inner chatter is your inner chatter, and they have their own. So you're making a much bigger deal out of it in your own head than the reality. The reality is they're going to be like, oh, wow, you look cute, okay. Then they're going to be right back to thinking about themselves. So that's one of the things I've learned that I want to pass on to little soul sisters and brothers, is that you think that people are way more focused on you than they are, because they're not. And I don't mean that in a mean, cold way. Please understand what I'm saying. I'm not saying nobody cares about you. I'm saying that you have to just kind of understand, like, think about the way that you think. Everybody else thinks that much about themselves and their worries and their anxieties too. So you think the whole day that everybody's just thinking about you without glasses. That's not reality. They're thinking about their own stuff. And when you're confident and you don't worry about really what they're going to think either way, it doesn't matter what they think. So what? What if they do think you look weird? Okay? Like, what if they do? What does that mean? It means they're going to get used to it. You have to realize you're not perfect, and there are going to be people that judge you, and people are like commented on my headband, like, why does she wear that all the time? Or, you know, like, it doesn't really matter to me. This is me. I like it. You're going to learn to love yourself without glasses, and people are going to love you just as much. And if they don't, because you don't have glasses, I mean, think about that, sweetie. No one's gonna not like you or think you look stupid. And if they do, they'll get over it. They'll see you in two or three more days, and they'll be used to it. They'll forget that you even wore glasses in a week. So I just want to point out that things that seem really, really big to us when we're little and young or teens are not big. And just laugh it off. Be light about life. You guys, I love helping you with your problems. And one of the biggest things I want to tell you that hopefully will help is that you guys got to be lighter about everything. Be more playful, and just don't take everything so hugely seriously, because it's not. It's just life. You know, it really doesn't have to be that big of a deal. But there was a time in my life where it was. I remember feeling just like you did, and if I had someone to tell me what I'm telling you, I would have had a much easier time. So take my advice and don't sweat it. That Taylor Swift song, Shake It Off. Listen to that before you go to school the first day without your glasses and just shake it off. If somebody says, oh my gosh, you look so different, be like, oh yeah, cool. I do, don't I? It was weird. Like when you kind of make fun of yourself, and I don't mean in a bad, self-abusing way, when you make fun of yourself or bring your attention, bring other people's attention to something, it really dissipates the energy that builds up. So just be like, yeah, I know. I looked in the mirror this morning. I was like, whoa, who the heck's that? It is weird, isn't it? It's really weird to get used to. You know, kind of lay it on the table. Be like, yeah, I thought it would be weird and, you know, I'll get used to it and everybody else will. And just be like, so what's for lunch? And just change the subject, but be happy and light about it. And it won't be taken so big and serious. If you go into school like, hi everyone, and you're like worried, they're going to be like, what's wrong with her? She's like acting weird. And then their energy that they're going to kind of match you with is going to be kind of weird. And then you're going to think it's because you don't have glasses. And then it's just going to spiral you downward in this like negative, insecure place. Hold your head high. Be like, hey guys, what's up? Oh my gosh, what's different about you? They might say, be like, I got my glasses off. Isn't it weird? Oh my gosh, I looked in the mirror. I was like, who is that? Just be silly and light and crazy and just yourself, and it'll be okay. I promise. The next question is from Ellie Rose, and this is the last question of this episode. I've been feeling left out in games with my friends. I tell them I feel left out, but I still get left out. How do I get over feeling left out? I will tell you, instead of being a victim in your mind, we do this, guys. We get in this victim mindset. This is cultural. And the number one idea to not feeling left out is to focus on other people not feeling left out. Start your own game. Just if you want to avoid that feeling, then start your own game and invite people. You invite the people that are left out. That's how you make a difference in this world. Don't worry about yourself and being like a meek little victim and nobody likes me, no one's inviting me to play. That you're never going to get ahead in life. If you stay in that place, you'll just learn to be that way always. And then you're going to be an adult and walk through the grocery store and be like, no one said hi to me here. The guy didn't tell me what was on sale for meat this week. Like, I'm serious. Like, this kind of pattern thinking is unhealthy. And it's not your fault, sweetie. The truth is you can change. Don't be a victim. You're only a victim if you make yourself a victim. So again, if you're in that situation where you worry that you're going to be left out again, then just say, hey, I'm going to start a game and invite all these kids that are feeling like you did. Insecure kids, kids that don't have friends, kids that could potentially be pretty awesome. If they had someone that cared and loved them and showed them some attention and support. So the way that you avoid feeling left out is to not leave other people out, and you just start your own game, start your own experience, invite everybody in, and they're going to feel so included, and you are going to just feel that energy and just merge with it, and everything changes. You're only a victim if you choose to be. In many of these situations you guys send me, I want you to know that. You don't need to be victims. You have to be empowered souls. Nobody gives you that gift and say, oh my gosh, you're so empowered. You own that. And an empowered soul is somebody who just says, I don't like the way it feels to be left out. So now I know the way it feels. You have to step out of yourself and kind of observe how you're feeling and be a little critical of it and say, why am I doing this again? Why do I like always start to feel bad for myself? It's self-defeating. It doesn't help me feel any better. I'm going to do something different this time. I'm not going to feel like a victim. I'm going to let them do what they're going to do, and then I'm going to just start my own game or start something and include everybody that needs to be included, and in turn your life will change. That's just a little mini example of what I do on a really big scale, and I never feel left out anymore because I include all of you. I want you all to feel special. You're part of our soul sisterhood. Can you even imagine somebody empowered leaving somebody out of this? Can you imagine me and Amy being like, no, you're not part of this, go away. That's not kind, and that's not love, and that's not who you want to be around. So maybe these friends aren't the coolest people, and cool is kind, don't forget that. So when I say cool people, I mean kind people. These friends obviously aren't the kindest people, so go start your own tribe, start your own group of new friends. You can start something from the bottom up, and your life will change as a result. All right, guys, well, thank you so much again for your awesome questions. I hope you gained something from this episode. Please send me more pictures of you guys as soul sisters. I love it. At the end of the video, I'll put as many as I can, as well as your soul sister fan art, which Amy and I love, by the way. I want to do a surprise for Amy. I want to print like a ton of your art, and when she comes back in 6 months, I want to have it like printed on this huge poster. I might even like put them all on like 1 or 2 of the walls. So when she walks into her room with all of the Soul Sister fan art, she's going to be blown away. So that's a secret. Amy, if you're watching, you didn't hear that. Seriously, guys, I really want to do it for her to surprise her. We have a couple months to work on it before she comes here, but I really need your help to make it awesome, and I'll vlog the whole thing, okay? All right, guys. Well, thank you again so much for tuning in. I really appreciate the love and support, and I hope you guys have an awesome night, and I'll see you next Saturday. Peace and love.